box, and I think I may swing into the morning of Tuesday. I'm wearing my, what is this, Balium UPF jacket. Loving it! I was just listening to some CME podcast from the JAMA, and it got me thinking, it was an auditory article on a new medication, and they were pointing out how in order to maintain the results, you have to take the medication indefinitely. And that's always, people don't like the idea of taking medications long term. I wouldn't. I take 0 medications. Fortunately, don't have to take any medications. But that is always a stumbling block for medications, is adherence and sticking to them. People don't like to take them, and tell somebody they're going to have to take a medication indefinitely, then they're like, I don't want to be on this. That's something you hear a fair amount, like a common, I don't want to have to take medication for the rest of my life. And I totally understand that. I wouldn't want to either. I mean, medications, they obviously have numerous off-target effects, which lead to side effects. And medications, it's a slippery slope too. Like with certain medical conditions, you end up having to go on a medication, and it's not enough. Sometimes you have to add another medication, and so then it becomes managing the side effects from those 2 medications with another medication. I mean, it really is. And when you talk about the patient, then their likelihood of sticking to all of these medications, it starts going down, because people, A, don't like to take medications, B, it's hard, and C, it gets confusing. Like, what am I taking this for and that for? Plus, if you get referred to different specialists and they prescribe something, and it's just it becomes polypharmacy, really, really, really problematic. So all that I just told you guys, I do not understand why these hair gummies are thriving and a jiving. Like, why people get excited about taking these hair gummies with minimal to no data behind them, and people will swear up and down that they work when the science shows that they actually don't make a difference. The biotin gummies, but try telling people that, and they're like, oh no. Well, if you gave somebody a pill, if somebody came to a doctor and they had high cholesterol, and the doctor gave them a pill that had no science behind it, and their cholesterol dropped a point, would you take a pill that had no data behind it, no evidence that it actually worked, just because by accident it dropped your cholesterol 1 point? Probably not. Would you really want to sign up for taking a medication with potential side effects for the rest of your life for a 1 point drop of your cholesterol when there are no studies showing that it works? No. I mean, the patient would look at you like you were crazy if you did that. That's placebo. It's placebo. But the biotin thing, try arguing with somebody who thinks that that's helping. I mean, and the reason it's problematic is because those biotin gummies, we've learned, they can interfere with the accuracy of blood tests, biotinylated blood tests that rely on biotinylated antibodies or whatever to detect the thing that they're looking for in the blood, like thyroid tests or troponins, which are ordered when you're trying to work somebody up for chest pain to make sure they're not having a heart attack. Biotin supplements can interfere with that. I reviewed a long time ago a vitamin, was it by Hum, that had phytoceramides, and I think it had hyaluronic acid in it too. Check that out, because I do get questions about phytoceramides. That was kind of a similar thing, improved hydration, better smoothing out of wrinkles, but very small, and, question mark. Just because something works in a subset of people doesn't mean it's going to be okay for everybody. And that is the problem with these supplements that claim to be for certain things, is everybody thinks they need to take them. But whether or not it's going to work for you, it may not. And you might say, well, just take it and try it. But like, it could have side effects. So like, the risk to benefit. See, with the medication, you know the side effects, you know who it's going to, you know, be indicated for. This person is just stuck out in the middle of the road here. And now this person's giving up, and now it's making it worse. And now we're just... the right of way is not applicable here at all. Would you guys take a supplement if it would prevent you from getting a sunburn? There aren't really any supplements like that, but there is a supplement called polypodium. I always have trouble saying it. Heliocare, that can reduce the burden of damage from the sun in the skin. You still have to use sunscreen. Yeah, I mean, that is one thing that you can take. It appears to be safe. And it also may be helpful for people who, it's definitely been shown to be helpful for people who have photosensitive diseases, namely polymorphous light eruption, which I know a lot of you guys deal with. I have a video on that, by the way, too. But it also seems to be helpful potentially for people with melasma and issues of hyperpigmentation. So it's not a replacement for sunscreen. Like, it won't block the rays from getting to your skin, but it will kind of help reduce some of the free radical burden, if you will. And the nice thing about that is you take it before you go outside and then again after. And you can just kind of take it like in the summer during a period of time where you're going to get a lot of sun exposure. It's not something that you necessarily have to take long term. Like, for example, if you're one of these people who has polymorphous light and pops up in the summertime, in the springtime, you could take it, you know, in the spring and ride it out, and then your skin goes through something called hardening. If you have that, and it kind of gets used to the UV, and then the following year the same thing will happen. You know, it'll happen again. Anyways, what I'm getting at is while you're going through the hardening phase, or you're dealing with the rash, that would be a time to consider taking it. Discuss with your doctor first, though. Discuss with your doctor first. Just another day in paradise. It's kind of a dreary day out. It's been kind of blah as of lately. Oh, you guys, I said I wasn't going to get one of these, but I finally caved because I was curious. I got a step tracker / heart rate monitor / sleep monitor / watch. It's a watch. I got this on the Amazonian because, backstory, I was getting frustrated, came to the realization that the iPhone, the pedometer, whatever, is horrible. I mean, it's so inconsistent. I will walk the same distance every single day and get drastically different readings all the time. So I wanted to affirm that I was correct, and I got really into it. So I found this one on the Amazonian, and I was correct. That thing is useless. This gives me a reading, like, the discrepancy between this and that is like 3,000 steps within the same, after going the same distance. If I hold my phone and have this on, it's like, this is higher, 3,000 steps higher than that. It's amazing. And it is easy to charge. It was pretty inexpensive. It tracks your sleep, which I think is a complete gimmick. But I have to say, it's kind of seems accurate. Like, it tells you how many hours of sleep you got, and it breaks it down into light sleep and deep sleep. And so that's kind of cool. I mean, it's probably not super accurate, but it seems to be consistent, which is good. So, you know, you can kind of get a sense of if if you had caffeine after a certain hour, and then you can, you know, look at your watch the following day and see if it screwed up your sleep. So it's kind of, you know, fun in that sense, I guess. And then you can also tell it that you're going for a run, and it'll clock your time and the distance that you go. How accurate it is, I could not tell you. But it does running, it does if you want to go on a walk, and it does bicycling. How accurate it is, I could not tell you. I haven't really, put it to the test. But it does that, and it does the sleep thing, and it does your steps all day. Oh, and it does your heart rate too, which seems to be pretty accurate, because I measured my heart rate from my carotid and I had this going, and it was right on target. So it seems to be pretty accurate with the heart rate. And like I said, it was not expensive. And you can change out the bands. These little, the wristband, it just pops off, either side pops off, and there's like a little plug that you put into a USB port to charge, but you can get different colors. Like I got this slate blue color, but you can get like gray or black or what have you. So yeah, I've been pretty happy with this. It seems pretty accurate, and I like the sleep tracking piece of it. Let me put my hand protector back on here. I'm in here on Tuesday morning, and they have these nice jewelry organizers, bamboo lid, different sizes. Oops. I have a great jewelry organizer there that I got from Amazon. I highly recommend it. These are nice though for hanging earrings.
I think that is a possibility.
Tuesday morning had some good stuff. I didn't end up getting anything, but there was a woman in there, and I don't understand this, on her phone having like an intense conversation and like not paying attention in the store, just very much into the conversation she was having on the phone. It's like, well, why are you in the store on the phone? Why not just get in your car? I don't know. I have a hard time carrying on a conversation on a phone in a public place. I will never be able to do that. Just like, I feel like A, I'm inconveniencing people, and B, I feel like people are listening. I don't know. I've never been able. First of all, I don't like talking on the phone, but talking on the phone in public is like, never. Hey guys, I just got out of the shower and finished my skincare routine. I got a question recently. I get this question a fair amount actually. People asking about how to even out skin tone on the body in people with deeper skin tones. You guys, I have to tell you, this is a great product to consider. The Eustern Roughness Relief Cream, not sponsored. I just love this product, and I'll explain why it's a good idea, a good choice. People with deeper skin tones, they can have a skin barrier problem quite commonly, actually. Problems with ceramides leading to skin of color actually more likely to have eczema and dry skin issues. And part of that can manifest with built up, dry, scaly skin cells that look like hyperpigmentation but really aren't. So that can often happen like on the elbows, the knees, the lower extremities, areas of the body where a baseline everybody has fewer oil glands and areas of the body that are more prone to dryness. And then throw on top of that a predisposition to maybe have deficiency in ceramides, which are important for retaining the moisture barrier. You're more likely to lose a ton of water out of those areas. That leads to dry skin, built up scaly skin cells that make the skin have that kind of ashen look. So the reason this is a great product is because it has urea in it. And urea is a humectant. It helps hydrate the skin, but it's also a keratolytic. It dissolves the goo between those built up dry scaly skin cells, allowing them to more efficiently slough off. And as a result of that, it allows for better uptake of moisture into the skin. So the urea not only helps slough that stuff off, but it also helps bring hydration in, smoothing out the appearance of the skin. Plus, when the skin is hydrated and moisturized, overall skin tone is much more even. And even if you do have hyperpigmentation, it's going to be less noticeable when the skin is moisturized, just because the hydration kind of ends up scattering light and things. It's just not as obvious. Like when your skin is dry, any sunspots that you have, freckles, what have you, they're more noticeable. So that's another reason why it's a good choice. Like I said, elbows, knees, those are common areas, but also like the legs, for example, areas of the body where you know, like you were saying, like you guys were asking, uneven skin tone. Urea may also, to a certain extent, somewhat, although don't get your hopes up, improve the appearance of that skin thickening condition, acanthosis nigricans. It happens on the back of the neck, but it can happen anywhere on the body, including the face. And actually, it commonly does happen on the face. And Black people and Hispanics, you know, can sometimes have it on the sides of the face. And the key to getting that to slow down and stop is to make sure there's no underlying insulin resistance, pre-diabetes, and get that under control, because that's really what causes it. And otherwise, it's not like you can cure it, but the urea softens that up and kind of smooths the skin out. So that is another good use for this product in terms of the urea. But yeah, that product has been, I've been actually using it. I'm always talking about stuff I put on my feet. You guys must think I'm just constantly greasing out my feet. But I recently finished up a tube of my carousel, and I started using that because I had opened it and shared it with you guys in a video, and I started using it on my feet, and I've been using it and they just look, well, I won't show you because it's kind of an awkward angle, but yeah, I've been really happy with that for the dry, scaly stuff on my feet. It does kind of have a slightly sticky sensation to it though, so do be aware of that. And you won't notice results with that like right away. It takes some time. The urea has to go to work kind of sloughing off everything, then bringing moisture in, so it takes some time. Plus urea is naturally present as part of your moisture barrier as is, and so it helps at baseline with the function of the moisture barrier. So it can just really help everything kind of get its act together and be healthier. Anyways, guys, just wanted to share that with you. Thank you so much for sticking around at the end of the vlog. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys had a good day whenever you're watching this. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. And as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.